Hello everyone. I'll do a little quick viewing of the giant African millipedes. I already forgot their scientific name because someone's too lazy to make a label. They're both still doing well. They love to dig, as you can imagine. This is the smaller of the two. The other one's about a ½ inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch longer. A little bit more active than this one is too. See, it's starting to burrow underneath the log. I kind of dug them up just to make sure everybody was doing okay. So yeah, we'll get on with some feedings. Okay, everyone, we're going to start off with attempt to tongue feed the male Caribbean versicolor. If I can catch this male red runner, which I'm not having much success doing. There we go. Alright, let's see what we get. There we go. Well, he's a good eater. Again, you'll hear that noise when I move the camera around or move it up and down. The microphone's actually pretty sensitive on these phones. This is Devin. Had him since a little baby. He's a good guy. Never really given me much problems. It's been a joy actually having him for the last 2 years. And he's doing his little happy dance and doing a little bit of webbing. While he's doing that, I'll talk for just 20 seconds or so today. My son spent the night at his friend's house. This is my oldest son, Alex. He was with his college roommate. And he was coming home this morning, and he almost ran over a huge snapping turtle. So he stopped the car, got out, looked at it. You know, I mean, it was probably about 22 inches from nose to tail. Big turtle. And so later on, we went to pick up my daughter and her friend at the mall, and we took her friend home. And on our way home, there was another turtle in the road. So we stopped, and it was a small American snapping turtle. It was almost stuck to the road because of the sun and the the road surface. So we grabbed him, and we're going to try and nurse him back to health. Alex seems to think he's going to keep him, but we may hang on to him for a little while and then release him. You know, maybe the end of the year when he gets ready to go back to college, or I don't know. Maybe we'll keep him for the year. We'll see. We'll see what goes on. But we'll put him in some videos along with my daughter's Russian Taurus if we can get it to eat. So yeah, that's there's the start, and we'll get moving on to some more teas. Okay, so yeah, let's see if we can get that little guy. Probably not going to get him in focus. This, I just transferred this one. This is the Pleuroea vittata. The other video that I did the other day, I said I was moving this fusca. I meant the vittata. Pretty flawless. Did the same method that I said with the 32-ounce deli cup. Put it on top of its old enclosure, got it up in there, and then put it right in this one with no problems. We'll see if it's ready to eat. There goes the female red runner. It's a new home, new environment for him, so he may not be ready right off the bat, but always got to give it a shot. I like to, I think I've said this before, a lot of people won't do it, but I like to feed as quickly as possible after rehousing them, just so that they know that there's food available now where they're at, and help them de-stress just a tad bit. Now, the only mistake I made with this enclosure was when I dumped the substrate in. You could see it all over the front and all over the sides there. I never cleaned it off like I usually do. I usually brush it down real quick and then put the spider in there. And that was a used piece of cork bark that used to be used for my Poecilotheria subfusca before I moved her into the bigger enclosure. And I still am considering moving her into one of these two. I do have one more snap tight container. I'm not quite sure if I want to move my Avicularia rufa into this, or I think that's what I really want to do, is move the rufa into this with a piece of cork bark flat and some leaves, and get it out of that log that it's in right now, so we can see it just a little bit more. So yeah, I don't think this one's going to eat, but we'll do updates on it. I got to do some labeling, lots of labeling, and we'll move on to the next. Okay, so next up is probably one of my most active Poecilotherias. This is the Poecilotheria Miranda. This one's moving around all the time. Throw a male. Oop, we missed it. She's definitely one of the worst hunters that I have. It's amazing how many times she actually misses. I want her to get her meal so that I can water her. So this video here is just going to be a culmination of everything. I'm hoping that they're all successful feedings, but some of them may not be. That little, well, there's the male guy right there. Hopefully he will come around here. And the bad part about filming with this type of setup also is the glare. I try to keep the glare off the plastic the best I can, but you know, these parts here are where the handles are, so they kind of have that groove in them. So you can see the red runner and you can see the Miranda. I'm not going to try and get crazy with the times of each spider, and I'm not going to go off on tangents, I hope. This is probably going to be a good hour or so video. That may have to be broken up into 2 parts. It seems a little bit easier that way, to break it up into 2 or 3 parts. I just don't know how the views, because I'm not getting as many views as some of the other guys. I don't know if it's the way I tag my videos or what it is I do, but I think the feeding videos get a lot more response than some of the update videos and stuff of that nature. So we'll see how this one does. And get that red runner to move. I'm going to try and keep each feeding to under 3 minutes the best I can, and we're probably going to feed 70–80% of the collection. I may have to get the roach manipulator. Not that one. The longer one. I don't know where it went now. This one is a pretty good ground feeder. Just going to slide the top down. I would think that roach makes another move. Well, maybe not. Maybe a couple moves towards the Miranda there, and we'll have a strike. So we'll do just a tad bit more manipulation here. That's about as close as you're going to get to it. Well, I know we wanted it. Give it water while I'm here. We'll try one more time doing the manipulation. Oh, now our Miranda went to the other side. Okay, well, not looking good. So we'll put her off to the side, and if she does end up catching that roach, we'll add it in. We'll move on. Okay, this is Thorne. This is the male Salmopaeus pulcher. I'm going to try and get a dubia roach into him. Not a very big one, but we'll set it right there. And what we'll do is we'll bring you up here. And the dubia is not going to cooperate at all. See what happens here. He's usually pretty quick to take down prey. He was fed a few days ago a small mealworm. There it goes. There we go. Good guy. Okay, that's one of my pulchers. This is the male that we're pretty sure is a male. We're not 100% positive. The next time he molts should be pretty obvious for us. His molt was kind of torn. I didn't see anything like I saw in the other two pulcher molts, so okay, we'll move on. Okay, here's Lucchini, a Salmopaeus pulcher female. I'm going to give her a male red runner. Again, if I can catch it. I put them in these little cups to make it easier, and it doesn't seem any easier. I don't have the Mr. Miyagi skills of catching flies with chopsticks, so I kind of struggle grabbing the roaches with the tongs. We'll get you guys down inside here. Lost the light. Sorry for the scratchiness there. There's the light going back in. It's the only bad thing about these snap containers is that the lid gets in your way sometimes when you want to film. But we're going to film her from over here for a little bit. She's pretty active with her food. She really took to this bamboo tube that I got here. Oh, let me give her some water. No, she does have water. She's the only one out of the 4 that I have that hasn't really webbed very much. So the pulchers web a lot. She's not there. Maybe if I put her in focus. Yeah, she doesn't web a lot. She goes down the tube. Salem and you saw Thorne really webbed, and Quattro, the little ones, webbed pretty good too, but she really hasn't. So okay, we'll move on to the next. Okay, well, I know we did a video on her the other day, but I just wanted to give you guys another quick look. She's going to go on the shelf next to the other 2 pulchers, so now all 3 of them will be side by side. That's Salem. She doesn't need to eat. She just ate a few days back, so she's doing good. And we'll move on to, I think we have the Avicularia metallica. Let me see what we got going on over here. The Avicularia metallica, the Avicularia rufa, and the Avicularia monie that molted a week and a half ago. We're going to try and feed that little guy. Alright. So here is Shadow. Well, this is the Avicularia metallica. We'll try and tongue feed a male red runner. See how this goes. Oh yeah. Oh, you guys might not have caught that right away, but looks like she moved up on the screen. This is a female. Always been a good eater. There she is there. I love the metallica, the white sete hair. You can see some of its dulling. A little bit of reddish here and there, but this is what they call now the Avicularia hobbyform metallica. Because again, the type species that were the metallicas were lost, so they don't have anything to go by. So they're nonum dubia. There's a dubia nona. No, yeah, it's nonum dubia, ND. So they're actually not really classified yet, so hopefully they'll work that out sometime in the near future. But there's the pink toes with the whites on the very end of them. Some people call these the common name, the white-toed, I don't know, white-toed bird eater? Not really sure. I've always just known them as the metallica pink toe, so the metallic pink toe. I did not feed the Pleuroea metallica because there's still a roach from last time I tried feeding it in there. So we'll just let that roach live its life in there till either we get a molting tarantula, which the roach won't bother it, or it gets eaten eventually. Alright, let's move on. Okay, well, I screwed up filming this one because I didn't have the camera on the side or the wide angle, so there is the Avicularia rufa, formerly known as the Avicularia urinensis. We're going to definitely, I think, move this into the snap tight container and get it out of this thing, and we'll use these milk bone jars for some of the fossorial species. As a juvenile stage, they'll be good for them for till they're about 3.5 inches long. So alright, we'll move on. Okay, so here is the Avicularia monie that molted not too long ago. We're going to try and get this dubia roach down inside there and see if we can get a feed out of this one. Don't mind that pain in the ass dog that's barking next door. That's all that dog does is bark constantly, all the time. And then you'll hear the owners yelling to tell them to shut up. I think it's kind of funny because they'll yell and yell and yell to shut up. And I just like to yell for them to shut up and shut their dog up. Alright, well, I'm not quite sure where that dubia went. It's looking sharp though. There's the molt. See what I mean about bits and pieces buried? It's all over the place there. Yeah, I did the update with this one, or he was part of the update yesterday's video or day before's video, whichever day that was there. Oh, there's the dubia right there. So we're just gonna let him do his thing. If he decides to eat, we'll pull him back on and give you a shot or a quick look. Well, hopefully this turns out okay. Again, this is the lair of the Pleuroea regalis, name Apache. Got a nice size dubia roach for it. This one's been iffy since its last molt. as far as feeding is concerned, see that regalis band there? It didn't take the roach. The roach is down there. I really want to get her out of that area and clean this all out so that we can see her. You know, that's just her silk strands that she's got on there, and it's pretty hard to see through. But, well, there's another one that if she decides to take the roach and bring it out, we'll bring her back out. Okay, here is the Heterometris spinnaker. There goes my light again. Yeah, in the dark. There we go. This is what the general or common name of is the Asian forest scorpion. There's a whole bunch of different species of the Heterometris, and we're not even 100% sure that this is a spinnifer. This is what it was sold to me as, but that doesn't really mean anything. I've been seeing a lot of people posting pictures of Banderas imperatus, or the emperor scorpions, and they're actually Asian forest scorpions. So we just, you know, it's hard to distinguish sometimes. There it is right there. Again, this is one I have yet to see eat at all, ever. I know it does because, you know, tomorrow this cricket will be gone, but they generally do not like to eat in the light. They like to be in the dark. So at least you'll get a quick glimpse of the little guy. We'll try and coax the cricket, now that jumped into the water, over to it, and you can see it runs right by it. So we'll let it go and let's do its thing in the evening. Okay, next up is one of the 5 Brachypelma albopilosums. This is the Nicaraguan. Still haven't named it yet. I'm not really quite sure what I want to name it yet. Almost kind of wish or want to know what it is, if it's male or female. Oh yeah. I think she came out after that, and the roach went in her. She's pretty quick. I'm calling her her. But it's pretty quick. Now it's trying to figure out where it went, because it completely missed it. And we don't want to miss this strike when it happens, because it's going to happen fast. This is a very, very, very quick brachy. I'm really, really surprised at how quick it can be. Where did that roach go? Down inside there? I think the roach went through the little hole there into the burrow. Get my flashlight, see if I can see it. And I can't, so I'm not sure where the roach went. There it is. There we go. Yummy, yummy. You could see the, you know, I really don't know exactly how to tell the difference, but if you look at the carapace of this one, it's like a really dark black brownish with a goldish tint to it, and the hobby form is more of a somewhat, I don't want to say tannish, but not really dark carapace usually. So yeah, I'm really thrilled. I really was only expecting, you know, I was going to buy a sling from her when she surprised me with this one. So, and they do have some of the slings that are pet store at the mall here that he bought off of her. You know, they're not selling because I think he's got them priced just a little bit too much. I know he's got to make money. I'm not sure what kind of deal that Ruth gave him. And I mean, they are Nicaraguan, and the problem is that he's not labeling them that, if they're just labeled elbows, and a lot of people aren't going to know. So they're just going to see the little black fuzzy spiders, and you know, we're going to end up, some of those will probably end up getting bred to hobby form albopilosums. But yeah, so there's whatever its name's going to be. I'm not quite sure yet. And we'll move on. Okay, so this has got to be quick because he has been quick and he's trying to get out because he wants to mate. We're going to throw a red runner in there and see if we, oh yeah, it's going to go right underground, of course it is. That's the mature male Mollison Tropus belfouri. 7 his name was, or is. I can't take the lid off this one very long because he wants to come right out. And he's incredibly quick. Though I do need to put some water in there. There he is. So you guys can get a quick look at him. It's amazing how pretty these spiders are, and that's the draw that I had with it, was the cream tan, you know, and then the dark around the upper part of their legs or the femurs, and then the bluish tints to it. And this one's got a pretty blue carapace, so we're going to put some water in and hope it doesn't decide while I'm doing that it wants to go anywhere. So what we'll do is we'll kind of cover them up this way and then get water in. And we'll move on to the next. This is Lincoln. This is a confirmed female Brachypelma albopilosum. It was just out, but oh, I don't know if you guys caught that. Yeah, you probably did. Well, the roach was right there, and Lincoln grabbed it right off. You can see the little feet there. So yeah, there's Lincoln got a feed. So I'm using, I hope this isn't going to be anything bad, but this is my wife's Dean Koontz Ashley Bell book that she hasn't read yet, so I think I'm going to read it. Hopefully it's good. I haven't really read a Dean Koontz book that was bad, so I'm sure I won't be disappointed. Oh, let's give her some water. There we go. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so this one here I haven't seen in forever. This is the home of the Orphanaicus species Pandae blue. We'll see if maybe this worm might entice it out. But I haven't seen this one in a very, very, very long time. Well, I mean out anyway. I've been able to see it in the very corner in the window. The small window that it has afforded me to check it out now and then. I don't really want this this wood is right next to where it made the entrance of its burrow. We're going to go ahead and let that worm dig its way down, and it'll get inside the burrow of that tarantula, and it'll find it. That's usually how I feed it, because I don't see it. And that brings me back to that whole topic that I wanted to do a video on about, you know, picking the right spiders and not picking them because they're cool or a fad spider or they really, really look pretty. You know, because I've been hearing a lot of, and don't take offense to this, female viewers, but we're back on the fad of the Pamphobedius, especially the Platyoma males that turn purple. And, you know, I've been seeing quite a few inquiries from new keepers, new female keepers about, oh, I want it because it's so pretty, you know, one of those deals without even really knowing anything about the spider itself. So, you know, again, do a little bit of research, ask people questions. You know, before you you know, you may see a spider online, you may see one on YouTube, you may see, you know, just a picture that you come across or somewhere on Facebook on the groups. Ask somebody, you know, feel free to send me a message. Like I said, you can look me up on Facebook, Dave Andrzejewski. Go to Tarantula Keepers if you're not a member there. You know, try to do a request to join, and then you can find me there. I'm also on Instagram as Eerie Arachnids, EER, as you can, well, the same as my YouTube channel. So I still haven't figured out how to link all that stuff together, and I have that time to do that so that you can click one and go to any of them. You know, find me on Facebook, Instagram. I don't do Snapchat. I think the Instagram, Facebook is enough for me. So, okay, we'll move on. You can always ask me questions, you know, like I said, just feel free. You know, what kind, you know, if you have a question about a certain spider, especially if I have it, I'll be able to answer it. But I know so many people that have them that I can get answers to your questions pretty quickly. So, again, we'll look at, here we are with a box of dirt that never wants to come out. We'll see how this goes. This is the Pleuroea Tigrin Waselli. It was just out. If you remember when I did the video of this one, oh, there it is right there. It is kind of tricky. He likes to, hopefully she likes to hide on me. But she moved all her moss that I had pushed down inside of her cork bark up to the top. I'm not really quite sure why she did that, or he did that, but we're going to try it with a red runner. I can't get these red runners to come out of here today. I'm using the wrong container. This is my rehouse container, so they're like clinging on to the sides pretty well. We'll see what happens. I debated a cricket with this one. The roach is coming around the corner there. You can see now that probably is behind the leaf. You saw the slight movement out of it. That knows it's there. Sometimes with the pokies, until they get bigger, where they can take a bigger size roach, it's actually better to feed them crickets, because the crickets, I don't know, they seem to take to them a little bit easier. The Miranda's that way. I don't know if I can get, no, I probably can't get the manipulator in there to get that roach out of there, but what we'll do is we'll, oh, we went after it, but we didn't get it. I don't think we didn't get it. And that damn dog is still barking, and I can hear them inside their house yelling at it. Joey! That's a big joke in our house. Joey! Shut up, Joey! But you probably hear my fan running too. And on my TV, I started watching Marilyn Moore's June feeding videos. I put it on mute. I'm probably about, who knows what video I'm watching right now. I don't even know. But, okay, so that's the Pleuroea Tigrin Waselli. I'm sure it will find that roach eventually. And while I'm right here, we'll just move to this next one. See, the leaves are going to hide the spider. This is the Salmopaeus cambridgei that I said was in pre-molt. And it's not in pre-molt anymore. You can see we got our molt is right there behind it. I would really like to get that out of there, so that's going to be my adventure here as soon as the light starts to dim on this camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to film feedings until the light starts to dim, and then that'll be part 1, and then we'll do part 2 tomorrow when I recharge it, or the next day. So okay, so yeah, we have the P. Tigrin Waselli and the Salmopaeus cambridgei that molted. So we'll move cambridgei off to the side. Well, we can put it back on the shelf there, and we'll get down the 2 reduncus, and the Salmopaeus irminia will be next. Next up is the Salmopaeus irminia. Throw a cricket in there. I bought a bunch of these medium-sized crickets the other day to feed to the geckos, and then the rest of them I'm going to use for some of these, smaller tarantulas like the Armenia, the Reduncus, a few of the small juveniles that I have. I'll try and get these crickets all squared away today, because I really hate crickets. I mean, they serve their purpose for certain things, but get off me. You're a stupid cricket. You had freedom and you didn't take it. Okay, well, Loki here doesn't seem to want to move, which is kind of shocking. It's eaten real well the last few feedings. And I was going over the feeding, what teas need to be fed based on my app, and but there's no rhyme or reason to what I do. There really isn't. There's some teas that haven't eaten, and the Avicularia monie female, I haven't seen it eat in over 200 days. And I mean, they do some long pre-molts down there. We finally moved, but that's just crazy insane that we can't get it to eat it all. Okay, Loki, you're right underneath it. Yes, it's not ready to eat. I'm not interested in eating. Which makes for poor filmage. Alright, we'll move on. Okay, there is Salmopaeus reduncus. This is Tehar. Looks like our light is starting to dim on us here. So I'm not sure how much more filming we're going to get in. Try to keep rotating so that if he does decide to come out. There's Tehar right there. I think you just made a very critical error there, Mr. Cricket. Oh, that's a very forgiving tarantula there, huh? Slowly but surely. Like I said, I was talking, I can't remember, goodness, I think it was silver spiders. It might have been moss. One of those two, I think, the other day, chatting back and forth about the Salmopaeus reduncus and how they like to burrow. I mean, they live at the bottom of the trees. That's where these two have always been. Well, I think you missed there, buddy. We almost got to freaking spoon feed him here. Come on. Do some work. I mean, for love of Pete, the cricket's begging to be eaten. There we go. Just need a little bit of extra prompting. So yeah, the common name for these is the Costa Rican orange mouth. I think they have like an orangish, they get orangish hairs around their chelicerae. Sorry, I'm looking to see if Loki decided to come out and get the cricket, and he didn't. So, okay, we're going to move on to Tesla. Okay, so here's the home of Tesla. I dropped the cricket in there. I don't think he got it already, did he? Sorry about the light, I'm trying to see where Tesla actually is. He's been kind of hiding really well lately. I think we're right there's a foot. I think he might have got it already. If he did, that was pretty quick. Oh, I was kneeling down, and my old knees can't take that. So yeah, this is going to be probably the end of part 1 right here. I do got to recharge the lamp or the light. No, I think we did. I think little Loki did come out and get its cricket there. There's Loki. Pretty sure it did, and I'm pretty sure that you know. Sorry, that's the way to end part 1 of the feeding video, but I'll bring you back to really getting Tim now. You can see, can't we see? There we are. There's Tannen. The Pleuroea Miranda did eventually find its food item. So we're going to put all these guys back on the shelf. We're going to recharge the light, and we'll do some more feedings tomorrow. Have a good night.